person that I'm going to introduce you to is simply exquisite. She is a game changer because of attorney Michelle J. Miller. Not only does MC Lyte own her name after 30 plus years in the business of it being owned by someone else, because of attorney Michelle J. Miller, I own my name, Lynn Richardson. It is a registered trademark. That means in the same way Oprah owns her name, and you can't do anything that Oprah does with the name Oprah, Lynn Richardson owns her name. As a matter of fact, sitting here next to me, I have several brands that I own as a result of the great work of attorney Michelle J. Miller. She is an attorney, she is a prophetess, she is a sister, and what you're gonna find out really soon is that she is a counselor and a friend. Welcome to Building Wealth, attorney Michelle J. Miller. Woo!
Thank you so much. I am so excited and just humbled by everything that you share. I'm excited about this opportunity to be on with you today.
Well, you are the person who is responsible for teaching us literally how to really take our most powerful asset and not just own it, but to earn income from it, and more importantly, prevent others from owning it and earn income from it. And that is our intellectual property. So why don't we just get started? Michelle, what is a trademark?
Yes, let's start with that. Trademark is one facet of intellectual property, and a number of people don't think of intellectual property as an asset. And of course, when you think about the word intellectual, some people don't think the thoughts, the intellect in my mind can produce multiple streams of income. And so one of the things I want people to understand, the impact that we can have on our family, on building legacy and building wealth, when we learn our creative genius, when we own our intellectual property. Now, one of the areas where there's a lot of challenge when it comes to intellectual property is trademarks. Trademarks is that brand identifier, is how people identify what you use to sell your services and your products. So as you mentioned, for you, it's your name. That's one of your trademarks, right? Lynn Richardson is a brand. And so anytime that we use a brand name, a logo, or a slogan, it can be a design, a color, it can even be a smell. If it's something unique and distinct that identifies you in the marketplace, it's something that is called a trademark. And why is that important to know what it is? Because it marks the trade that you have in the marketplace that produces money. One of the things I love to say is that, God, help us to take the thoughts of our mind, the intellect, the creative genius from our mind, and convert it into money in our hands. And because trademarks are so valuable, it's an asset, and it helps to produce income, and it makes us more marketable, which in turn produces multiple streams of income. Whoever owns the trademark owns the ability to produce income that can literally build wealth, not for their current generation, but for generations to come.
Woo! Okay, let me tell you, that was nothing but power. I am just so excited about this because I think when people think intellectual property, they think, oh, that means intellect. And I don't even have an 8th grade education, or I didn't finish high school, or, I don't have a degree, so I am not an intellectual. And what you said, it is literally the thoughts that we have. Yes. It's not about your IQ. It's not about the grade you got in school. It's not about whether you went to school or not. It is about the thoughts that you have and the things that get produced from those thoughts. So thank you so much for that. Let me ask you this question. If someone has an LLC registered in his or her state, does that stop people from using that business name in other states?
Excellent question, because I believe this is something that trip up a number of people that are new entrepreneurs, business owners, people that are looking to advance their footprint in the marketplace. And so oftentimes people think, well, I need to register my business, right, with my state. It can be an LLC, corporation, whatever the case may be, but we'll stick with a limited liability company. And so oftentimes people think, well, I've done my due diligence because now I have a legitimate company with my state. The issue is that when you only have a LLC, it does not prevent other people in different states from establishing a LLC with your same business name in their state. And so if you're looking to expand your brand and your business on a national or even an international level, the only way you can do that is with a registered trademark. And so I find that this is so important, especially right now with how everyone are doing things on social media. Years past, before we had Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all these different avenues to reach hundreds of thousands and millions of people, it was difficult maybe for the small entrepreneur, a small business owner to really expand their reach. But today, trademarks have become so very important because you can literally be just one post away from having national clientele. And so oftentimes people think they're okay with just having a business until, wait a minute, I look on Facebook or I look on Instagram and someone has my same name or a name that's so similar. And so the trademark becomes important. But the thing is, within this context, why? Because if someone can use your name and they can confuse people into thinking they're dealing with you, they're taking income out of your household, they're taking income out of your business. One thing you don't want to have is a consumer confused about who they're working with. And the way that you protect yourself and protect the ability that you have to capitalize on your own creativity is to own your name. And that comes with if you're in entertainment, if you're a small business owner, if you're an influencer, a coach, anything that you're doing that's producing income, you need to consider, is this something I need to have an LLC for? But not only that, do I need to own that name? Why? Because I want to own every opportunity available for me to produce wealth from that brand.
Let the church say amen. Where is the collection plate, child? Let me tell you. To that end, and I just have to say this, not only do I own my name, Lynn Richardson, but because of you, Attorney Michelle Miller, Lynn Richardson has the exclusive right to do, let me tell you, all of these things. Arrange and conduct educational conferences, arrange seminars, arrange conducting and organizing of seminars, arranging, organizing, conducting, and hosting social entertainment events, entertainment services in the area of radio programs, entertainment services, namely live appearances by a television personality, radio personality, celebrity financial coach. The list goes on and on. I'm only on line 4. This is about 50 lines where I'm protected. So if your name is Lynn Richardson, you can't do a radio show. If your name is Lynn Richardson, you can't appear as a television personality under the name Lynn Richardson because I own that trademark. And so your point was, you don't want people to be confused about who they're working with, because if another Lynn Richardson shows up on radio or TV and folks are saying, well, is that the same Lynn Richardson? So what you're saying is so important. And thank you for protecting so many areas that I do in this business, because again, those are ways for others to generate income. That is such an important element of owning a trademark and why it's so important. So thank you for not just talking about it. Thank you for being about it and making that possible in the lives of everyday people. What I want people to understand is you don't have to be a billionaire in order to own a trademark and to actually be able to protect what it is that you do and earn income from it. And you have made that possible for so many people, Michelle, in such an affordable way. So that's what I also love about this. So I have another question for you, Michelle. What happens if someone registers a business brand name as a federal trademark before I do?
You know, this is something that becomes an issue for a number of people. So one of the things I want to clarify is in the United States, trademark rights start from the time of use. So if I start using a brand name in Chicago, Illinois, I have a trademark in Chicago, Illinois, but also my rights to that trademark is geographical. So it's only in Illinois, maybe the surrounding suburbs. So if someone else then starts an LLC in their state and then decides they want to expand nationally So they have a conversation with a lawyer like me, get the federal trademark. Now the person with the Chicago business cannot expand to other states. So it does not matter that you have that LLC that's registered in your state. It does not matter the fact that you're using that brand, even on social media. When someone gets that federal trademark, then your rights become so limited, it's only geographical. And so what happens in many instances, people who want to, again, begin to get clientele in different states, maybe starting businesses in other parts of the country, they're unable to do that. They do have to draw by that limitation. And so it's really important, because the last thing you want to do is be in a situation where you're investing time, money, tears, prayers, right? Expecting profit and to build wealth. And then because you didn't do your due diligence in this area, you're then put in the box. And I don't know about you, but I know that we don't want to operate in the box, right? We want to be able to take territory. We want to be able to expand and enlarge our territory to get everything that belongs to us. Well, if someone gets that federal trademark before you, then you have a problem. And if you still want to take your business national, guess what you have to do? Rebrand. So all of the money that you spent building that brand, even building clientele to know you by that brand, you must start over. And so oftentimes people are thinking, oh, I'll just wait. I'll just sit back and I'll work a little here and a little there. You have to ask yourself, am I ready to build wealth or not? Am I serious about income generation or not? Do I want these multiple streams or not? Do I really want to change the trajectory of the financial position of my family or not? And if you say that you are, then it doesn't matter if you're starting as 100 heir. Save your money up, because when you do this, it's going to position you for your vision to build wealth. And it's also going to put you in the position where you have the peace in knowing that your business, your brand, and your bucks is protected. You have room to grow without somebody cutting you off and taking cash out of your pocket in advance. So that's why this federal trademark is so very important. I love to say, leave nothing on the table. Own everything that you create when it comes to your business and your brand. And then that way you can take every opportunity available to you without people taking money out your pocket.
Or even worse, somebody else getting the brand and then hitting you with some kind of legal paperwork because you don't own the trademark. And now all the work that you've done to build that brand, it's in vain. We actually, unfortunately, have a colleague who that's happened to, who built a global company, and only to find out that the name, which was very unique and absolutely brilliant, which, by the way, I love your firm, the Billionaire Law Firm, Brilliant Millionaires, I love it, but had a brilliant name, but someone else owned the name. So instead of getting a trademark in the beginning, she ended up building somebody else's brand. And ultimately, I'm imagining they made money from all the work that she did. So it's important. And I'm just going to say, from a budgeting perspective, because lots of times when people start a business, they're concerned, where am I going to get money from for this or that? I say sacrifice. I say give up going to the club. I say give up a new outfit. I say give up hanging out with your friends. I say give up whatever it is that you need to give up for a specific set of time in order to grind and get where you're trying to go. And if you're serious about being in business, then having a trademark for the things that you've created and for that brand, I think is extremely important. Here's my last question. If I use the TM symbol, TM, with my brand name, does that mean my brand is protected?
Absolutely not. And that's one of the things that a lot of people think, if I use that TM symbol, that I'm protected, when in reality, it's providing public notice that you're claiming that you have a trademark, but it's also providing public notice that you have an unregistered brand. So when you put that TM symbol on there, yes, I have a geographical right to this trademark. But one of the things I love to tell people, why not get your registered trademark application in first, right? And then when you use that TM symbol, you've already have your federal priority position. Trademark applications are reviewed according to the time that they are submitted. So whoever get their application in first, get dibs on what they want first. And so oftentimes people have a false sense of security by using that TM symbol. And even as you mentioned about having businesses, sometimes people don't do the due diligence or speak with a lawyer to find out if something is registered as a trademark before they start investing their money and launching their businesses. So some people are launching businesses and building brands that's already owned by someone as a registered trademark. And I'll tell you, that's one of the things I really have been sharing with a number of people that I'm doing now, is helping people at the very onset of the process and said, hey, before you put that LLC registration in, give my office a call. Let me run a search for you, because if that LLC business name is a brand name, we want to make sure it's not already taken, because there is a difference between having a brand name first and it's geographic and starting a business and using a brand that someone automatically owns. Then you have trademark infringement. So there could be people that's using that TM symbol that's engaging in trademark infringement and don't know it. And it could be very costly, a lot more costly than working with a lawyer to get the research done, even to do the federal application, because once you have those federal rights with a trademark, the amount of damages that you can get is unbelievable. You can go after the person's profit, all of these things, because just as we were saying earlier, you got this business built off of my trademark. So when I sue you, I'm coming for everything that should have been mine in the first place. So that TM symbol is great, but the best thing to have is that R symbol with the circle that indicates you have a registered trademark, which means you have the exclusive right for that brand name for everything that was put in your application. So even the language in the trademark application is so very important. As we mentioned with yours, Lynn, we didn't want to leave anything on the table. We wanted to cover everything that you did. Why? Because we didn't want to leave any openings for someone else to try to use your name and get income that ultimately belong to you. So having that R with a circle, the registered trademark, is where we need to go, because we need to own our brands so we can own the way that we use our businesses to build wealth.
So the TM, not really powerful, but the R with the circle, it is. Thank you so much, Attorney Michelle Miller, for helping me own my name. And thank you for helping so many others do the same.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lynn.
See you, girl.